Okay, I believe we have a question over here.
Hi. If either of you are elected to Congress, what committee would you like to be on? Why? And what within that committee would you change?
Is that mine first? Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, the one that Kevin Brady's on right now, the House Ways and Means, is a very good committee. It actually is probably at the head of all of the financial problems we have right now, and I would certainly like a voice there. They're the committee that could have shut down Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac long before they ever caused the destruction that they have in our system by giving money out to people that couldn't afford loans that they couldn't afford, and hence needing the TARP, which was a terrible bill that actually bought $700 billion worth of bad loans with our money, which sounds like a bad deal to me. There's no way that money's ever going to be paid back in any kind of real sum. So we're eating that. They have the ability to, the most influence as far as going after the Federal Reserve. The Heritage Foundation has actually written some excellent analysis of how we should go about auditing the Federal Reserve, and I definitely think we should. If Barney Frank is still there, I'd love to be the person to stand up and tell him where to go.
I'll tell you, it's really hard for me to decide which one committee I'd like to be on because, well, like Scott just said, the Ways and Means Committee is a good place to be. I want to be on that committee as well. I want to use my learnings from my MBA in finance management to make sure that we are balancing our budgets, that we're cutting spending, reducing taxes, and finding good solutions. That's precisely what I was taught how to do. That's why I studied finance management, was so I could learn what makes accounting sheets work, what makes cash flow statements work. Why does our government fail? Because they don't follow simple business, generally accepted practices. And we need to get back to that. But that's not the only committee I want to be on. I want to be on the Energy Committee. I know a lot about energy. I work in the oil sector. I want to be on the House Armed Forces Committee and help our servicemen while they're fighting and when they come home and get them good support with the VA. There's so many other committees I could go on, but I'm excited about all of them.
Some of this, and you've brought up your experience in the service as well, and we're both Air Force veterans, and you've spent 2 years at Exxon now? Mm-hmm. And
We'll have
2 years in
questions
service, right?
directly in just a minute.
We'll do that.
Okay.
All right. I want to help the veterans too. I want to help. The veterans. It's really nobody's against the veterans. This is one of those simple issues, and that's one of the things that Tyler's. That's the only specific thing that I found that he's really charged against throughout the last year. And my concern with that is everybody wants to help the veterans, but how do we help the veterans? Do we throw more money at them? If you listen to that tape that he's got, the CD that he's handing out of his interview with the 912, he wants to take money away from the Education Department, take money away from another department, and throw it at the Veterans Administration. The Veterans Administration has a huge amount of problems. Anybody that's been down to the VA hospital knows that. We need to fix these problems. We need to find good people to be in charge. You talk about finding the solutions. The solutions are out there. It's just someone to implement them. I have stacks of solutions. Heritage Foundation, AmericanSolutions.com. We know what needs to be done.
I agree. I'm glad that Scott's listened to my CD. I also agree that the veterans should not be getting necessarily just more money. That's why I also said in my interview that we need to streamline the processes that are there. We need to make sure that we're having effective spending while we're there. But I also know that even if we epitomize conservative principles and we give them the most effective Veterans Administration, the $3 billion that they're getting is not enough. I'm telling you, we've got hundreds of thousands of soldiers overseas that are going to come back with PTSD and other disorders, and they need care now. We already seen the repercussions of Vietnam and what happens when you don't take care of your veterans when they come home, and we can't have it again, and I'm not going to let it happen. We need to streamline the VA. We need to make sure that policies that they're paying out on what they're supposed to pay out on, and that the veterans are getting the care that they need immediately.